I've been talking with my students a lot lately about how to become more melodic with their chords and do chord melody and things of that nature. And there's so many ways that you can do this. And it kind of gets away from playing, block chords, all the time. What you want to do is you want to play parts of chords. So what I'm going to start with in this video is something called tenths. So a tenth is really just a major third or a minor third moved up an octave. So for example, if I have this G major bar chord here, and I play through my G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and I go to my 10th note, that's just my major third up an octave. I'm playing G to B. So I'm going to do that again. So here's my root, my second, my third, my fourth, my fifth, my sixth, my seven, my octave, my 9, and here's my 10. So now instead of playing this block chord of all these notes together, I'm just playing the root and the 10th of the chord. And I have a G major. Another way you can think of these as really what you're doing is you're just playing, if you take a bar chord, you're just playing the E string and the note that corresponds on the G string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the G major scale, I'm going to harmonize the scale with tenths. I'm choosing G major because you can start low and then go high and use the neck this way. Here's the major scale in G. I have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And also you can do them an octave lower. Here's E, here's F sharp, back to G. So if I played those all in bar chords, right, I'd have G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp, diminished, back to G major. So if I just took the E string and the G string out of all those chords, I'd have this. I'd have 3rd fret and 4th fret, 5 and 5 for the minor, 7 and 7 for the minor, 8 and 9 for the major, 10 and 11 for the major, 12 and 12 for the minor, 14 and 14, which I can do down here, 2 and 2 for that minor third coming off the diminished chord, and then back to my root again. So major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, which is just a minor third, and then back to my home bass again. So you can do this in any key, obviously. So say I want to do this in C major. And here's my C root, and I got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Well, think of how your bar chords would be on this string, right? You'd have C major. So if I took the A string and the B string together, that would be my 10th, because if I played through the C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have C and E together. Now the next one has to be minor. So think of your D minor shape here. And I'm playing the A string and the B string, D to F. Then I move that to minor on E, major, major, minor, diminished, which is just a minor third, and then back. You can also play these on the D string, where this would be your major third here, your 10th. Like say I started this on F here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So F and A, and then I make it minor by just closing out on that half step. Minor, major, major, minor, minor, which is just diminished, and then back to my home bass of F. So you can play them on those groupings of strings to start, and let's talk about some songs where you might have heard these, or some songs that you might want to learn to apply these, because obviously you always want to apply what you're learning to real life situations and music. So, Scar Tissue by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You have this F major, right? The F to the A. So if I played through my F major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's my 10th. And then I've got C major to D minor, back to C major. Dave Matthews uses these a lot. A song called Trippin Billies, which is in the key of D major. And he plays the F sharp minor, so the 2 on the top and the 2 on the G, to the G major, B minor, A major, so it's a minor to a major, form a major to a minor, and if you kept playing in that key, you could go through the key of D major doing that song. One that everybody knows, Blackbird by the Beatles. That right there, that's your 10th. Right, so is this. So technically the song is in G major, but there's a lot of diminished movement. And you know, the Beatles, they were harmonic geniuses, so they put a lot of surprises in there too. But if you harmonized, you know, the G major scale, right, G and B, and then you have the A and the C, the B and the D, and then all the way up to this octave G. When it gets into this part, you notice this is like a C major, C sharp diminished, D sharp diminished, E minor, E flat major, minor. So you probably all know that song anyway, but try and think of the shapes that you're making now as you're playing that song if you never did before. Think about tenths. So on this group of string, with the root on the E string, this would be major, this would be minor. And with the root on the A string, that would be major, that would be minor. Another song, Vance Joy, Georgia. So this one's capoed. So this one's capoed on the 4th fret, and you have this minor form up here, and then here, 2 and 3. This is the major form, this is the major form, this is the minor form, and this is a minor form. I mean, technically this is an E major, and this is an F sharp major, so technically the song is kind of around B major, or G sharp minor, however you want to think of it. It starts on a minor chord, so they'll probably call it G sharp minor. Another one, if you've ever heard the live version of Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson, live from Austin, Texas, he's got this whole intro that's very different from the recorded studio version. And he's got runs in there. That are really beautiful in G major. So this is your major. So he'll do a run kind of like this. So the beautiful sound of tenths. And you can get really melodic with these, you know. You can combine scales. So if you know the G major scale and you know, sounds almost classical, right? Or in C. You can even do bass motion. Combine them however you want, but it's just a way to get more melodic with your chord voicings rather than just strumming chords all the time and doing little fills, and there's just ways of opening up your harmonic possibilities. I'm also a big fan of Martin Taylor, and he has a great book about chord melody, Beyond Chord Melody, and he starts his entire his entire book off with talking about all the harmonic possibilities with thirds, and it's loaded with exercises and combinations of bass lines and scale runs, chromatic movement. So I highly recommend that book if you're really into jazz chord melody. But you hear this in classical, you hear it in jazz, you hear it in pop and rock and singer-songwriter stuff. So it's just a fun way to get out of your block chord voicings and open up your harmonic possibilities a little bit more. If you haven't already, visit rhinebeckschoolofmusic.com and become a patron, www.patreon.com/rhinebeckschoolofmusic. And I'll see you at the next one.